What's up? Good afternoon, friends and family. Have it's new 2019 self-assessment questions for chapter 3. Now, what I have here, I have 12 pages of this stuff. The first page of the notary questions are: a notary should keep his or her employer's best interests in mind when performing notarial acts for the employer. This is from Connecticut, the United States of America, the state of Connecticut. 2,000 plus. This first one is a true or false. Question 1. If you chose false, that's the correct answer. A notary may not discriminate amongst clients. True or false? If you chose the answer true, you got the right answer. A notarial act, a notary should not perform a notarial act concerning a sales contract if he or she receive a commission from the sale of the item mentioned in the contract. True or false? If you selected true, then that is true. Question 4. If a co-worker brought, let's turn the light up some. That's pretty much it. Papers regarding an adoption to a notary, it would be all right for the notary to tell other co-workers about the pending adoption. If you chose false, you have the right answer. Question 5. A notary who speaks Spanish may advertise him or herself as a notarial publicer. True or false? If you chose false, that's the right answer. Question 6. A notary must know and obey his or her state's notary laws. True or false? If you chose the answer true, you have the right answer. This is chapter 3. Of all the right answers. So you can see chapter 3 with all the right answers. Right? And Stephanie Reardon, much props to Stephanie Reardon. She has this sign at the law offices of Dark Legion Publishers, My Story Entertainment. And you can see at the bottom right the star from the law offices of Dark Legion Publishers, My Story Entertainment. Law offices. Chapter 4. We're going to keep it moving. This is a self-assessment. Chapter 4 is about qualifications and responsibilities. Question number 1. In most all states, the name that is written on the notary application is the name that the commission will be issued under. True or false? If you answered true, you have the right answer. Question number 2. Someone who is not a U.S. citizen cannot become a notary. True or false? If you answered false, you have the right answer. Listen, Other citizens, this here was first created in English and translated in about 60 different languages. So, we welcome you to the United States, and if you'd like to become a notary, the qualifications and the responsibilities are right here. From Hartford, throughout Connecticut, Fairfield County, Middlesex, Litchfield, through Stanford. Right? Question 4. We're going to keep it moving. If a notary has an address change, he or she may wait for as much time as he or she would like before notifying their commissioning officer of the new address. If you answered false, you answered right. That's the right answer. Question 5. With only a few exceptions, a notary may perform a notarial act only within the boundaries of the state, commonwealth, or district in which the notary is commissioned. True or false? If you answered true, right answer. Every state, question 6, requires that a notary use an official seal, an official notary seal, or embroiser. True or false? If you answer false, you have the right answer. Question 7. The notary seal should be affixed to the notarial certificate. True or false? If you answered true, right answer. Question number 8 of the qualifications and responsibilities for Chapter 4. Notary fees are subject to income tax. True or false? If you answered false, you have the right answer. Now, notaries do not have to pay income tax on a notary. Most notaries are $5 per page to notarize a legal document. It's only a legal document once I sign it. When I sign it, then it's a legal document. Certified with a certificate from the state of Connecticut. And stamp, seal, and browser. Question number 9. The notary is responsible for obtaining a certificate of authority or an apostille for a document that he or she notarized and whose recipient has requested an authentication of the notary's signature and status as a notary. Again, that word is authentication, right? True or false? If you answered false, right answer. And this is stamped and sealed with the questions and answers from the Secretary of the State here in Connecticut, up in Hartford, Connecticut. Questions 1 through 8 for qualifications and responsibilities for Chapter 4. Chapter 5, this is liability. Chapter 5 is all liability. A notary public, question 1, is personally liable for any losses caused by his or her faulty notarial act. If you answered true, right answer. Question 2. The employer of a notary is not liable for faulty notarial acts performed by an employee notary as part of his or her employment. True or false? If you answer false, right answer. In states that require that a notary be bonded, the bond protects the notary up to the monetary limit of the bond. True or false? If you answer false, right answer. Question 4. Errors and omissions. Insurance protects the notary in the event that he or she makes an honest mistake that results in the party to the document suffering a loss? True or false? If you answer true, right answer. Question 5. Knowing the notary state notary laws is one way to lessen exposure to liability. True or false? If you answer true, right answer. This is Chapter 5, Liability. Chapter 5, Question 6. Keeping thorough and accurate records of notarial acts will help reduce the notary's exposure to liability. True or false? Now, what they mean by that, you have to keep records. Most notaries have a notary manual. You can have the signatures of the client inside of the notary manual and signatures to keep an accurate record of all the notarial acts and signature from your clients. So you have it, Chapter 5 Liability Assessment. And these are the answers to Chapter 5 Liability of the notarial acts performed in the state of Connecticut. Alright, we're going to keep it moving. Chapter 6 is about record keeping. You know that manual we was just talking about for notarial acts and signatures of clients that's in that manual? All notarial acts should have accurate record keeping. So Chapter 6 is record keeping. Question 1. In states that do not require notaries to keep a record book or a journal, ASN and state notary public administrations urge notaries to keep a record of all their notarizations. Question 1 to record keeping. If you answer question 1 true, you have the right answer. Question 2 of the record keeping. Self-assessment. It is most important to have the document signer sign the record book. True or false? If you answer true, you have the right answer. You have to have your client sign the record book as a record keeper. Alright, Chapter 6, Question 3. Each document signer must provide a thumbprint for the notary's record book or journal if there is a thumbprint space in the record book. Alright. True or false? If you answered false, that's the right answer. Most record keepers have a record book or a manual that you can actually put a thumbprint in. Not all manuals or record keeper journals are the same. They're different. Question 4, record keeping. Two notaries that work in the same office may share one record book or journal for the notarial acts. True or false? If you answered false, right answer. And the reason is, each notary has their own record journal or manual for notarial acts for each legal document. Now, most legal documents are $5 per page. If you're legalizing someone from the gospel or some type of gospel movement or church, it's usually $10 each legal document or page. Or if you're legalizing some document for some nonprofit Fortune 500 corporation or company, it's usually $20 per page. So, friends and family, you have it for $5 per page. If you want to take the assessment, have good record keeping in your manual. And it's $125 for each course. And you have it first here in the state of Connecticut. From the law offices of Dark Legion Publishers, My Story Entertainment. Yep. From me, Deshaun Dark Legion Mystery Harper, better known as Sir Connecticut. Nice to meet you. And if you would like to ever vote You can vote for me on Urban Dictionary, the greatest writer in Connecticut. Chapter 7, authorized duties. Chapter 7 has authorized duties. While the notary's authorized duty vary by state, notaries everywhere may perform the fundamental duties: oath, affirmation, acknowledgement, attesting, photocopies. True or false? If you answered false, right answer. Question number 2. A notary gives an oath or affirmation to the person who is swearing that the information in the document is the truth. True or false? If you answered true, right answer. Question number 3 of authorized duties, chapter 7. A person who gives his or her acknowledgments to a notary is admitting that he or she signed the document, understand the contents of the document, and the consequences of signing the legal document, and the signing of his or her own free will. Now, clients, when you go to a notary or have a client legalize your legal document, you're there because you're out trying to get insurance, housing, Section 8, real estate, to provide for your needs. And you know that you need the notary. So, get your receipt from the notary. Chapter 7, authorized duties. Number 5. Performing a notarial act for a document signed really involves just filing out the notarial certificate that is usually located beneath the signature block. True or false? If you answer false, right answer. Now, these are the answers to Chapter 7, authorized duties. We're going to keep it moving. Chapter 8, prohibited acts. You have to know what to do and know what to do. So these are the prohibited acts. What to do and what not to do. Question 1. A notary must not perform a notarial act involving a document containing blanks that should be filled in prior to a notarization, or if some of the document pages are missing. If you answered true, right answer. Question number 2. Having a financial interest in a transaction does not disqualify a notary from performing a notarial act for the signer of a document related to the transaction. All right. True or false? If you answered false, right answer. Question number 3. If a signer brings a notarized document back to the notary because of an error made by the notary on the notarial certificate, the notary may correct the error on the certificate and initial the date, the change. True or false? If you answer false, right answer. Now, clients, look. When a client brings you a legal document that needs to be signed in front of the notary, sealed in front of the notary, once the fee is in, you have to make sure that the legal document is just the way that they brought it to you. Clean, with no smudges on it. You understand that? You have to have a clean document, no smudges, and it has to be crisp, brand new, the way that the client brought it to you. So, if a client brings you something while you're in the office, don't dip the client's paper in your cup of coffee. All right? Your client isn't going to like that much. Your client is going to be in need of a refund. All right? So keep the clean document the way that the client brought it to you. And notarize it, seal it, sign it, date it, and return it to the client the way that he or she brought the document to you. And it becomes a legal paper, a legal document. So, Chapter 8, prohibited acts, what to do and what not to do. All right. Chapter 9 on the self-assessment notary exam is notaries in a special position. Becoming a notary or state of Connecticut representative is a privilege. And you have state representatives will explain to you that it is a privilege because you have clients bringing you your money. You're putting your signature on your client's papers to make it a legal document, and you don't just put your signature on anyone's legal document unless you know that the legal document is going to fulfill the need of your client. So, Chapter 9 is notaries in special positions, knowing that it's a privilege. Question number 1. A government agency may regulate the duties of employee notaries during business hours. True or false? Usually, most notaries will okay to see friends and family. Myself, I usually see friends and family from 12 to 12. Sometimes friends and family, they always call me up, 860-416-6184, or either send me an email, dlmyz, the number 1 at gmail.com, to have documents and paperwork legal. So question number 2 of the notaries in special positions, you always have to make yourself available at a reasonable hour. And if you know your friends and family and have a good relationship with them, usually notaries have to legalize and have their commission renewed every 5 to 10 years. So question number 2, a law enforcement officer may perform all notarial acts authorized for a notary in that state to perform. True or false? If you answered false, you have the right answer. Because in most states, you have to only notarize it in that state. It's only good for that state. If you're working with a law office like myself, the document is legal in every state within the United States of America. All 50 states. Including the extended states from the United States of America, the islands. Question number 3. A military officer does not have to put the location of a notarial act on the notary certificate. True or false? If you answer true, you have the right answer. These are the questions for Chapter 9, Notaries in Special Positions. Alright, Chapter 10, Self-Assessment, Performing a Notarial Act. Question 1, the person for whom the notary is performing a notarial act must physically present with the notary during the entire process of performing a notarial act. True or false? If you answered true, you have the right answer. Chapter 10, Question 2, the notary must positively identify the signer of a document according to the laws of his or her state. Now that don't mean go around hurting your clients because you got to positively identify your client. What that means is you have to ask for some form of license, identification, lease, marriage license, birth certificate, something that will confirm your client of his or her whereabouts. Now, the date of the Notarial Act, chapter 10, question 3. The venue portion of the notarial certificate refers to the country in which the notary lives. True or false? If you answer false, right answer. The date of the Notarial Act on the notarial certificate must match the date on the document. True or false? If you answer false, you also have the right answer. Chapter 10, question 5. The notary seal should be placed somewhere on a notarial certificate because the notary is not certifying any part of the document, only the record of the notarial act, the notary certificate. If you answer true, you have the right answer. Notaries, clients, you have to have the certificate and the stamp and the seal on the notary certificate along with the legal document. Chapter 10, answers. Of the self-assessment, performing notarial acts. Chapter 11 of the self-assessment, questions for electronic notarizations. Question 1 is, an electronic notarization may be performed even though the signer of the document is in a different location than the notary. True or false? If you answer true, you have the right answer. According to the Uniform Electronic Transaction Act, a document signer may use the characters, symbols, letters, sounds, or a process so long as the signer intends whatever he or she is using to be his or her signature. All right, notaries. It's all right for you to have an electronic signature from your clients, as well as an in-person signature from your clients. If you answer true for question 2 of the Electronic Transaction Act, right answer. Since the document in electronic notarization is likely to be viewed, question 3 of chapter 11, electronic notarizations, is likely to be viewed on a computer screen, there is no need for the notary to scan the document to ensure that it is complete. All right. I'm on the laptop, and on this laptop, Apple, we have FaceTime, we have Photo Booth. Right now, I'm using Photo Booth for 2000 plus. It's your host, Deshaun Dark Legion Mystery Harper, right? And it is all right for you to use a laptop. Question 4. When completing the notarial certificate, the notary will use his or her electronic signature, whatever type of signature has been authorized for notice in his or her state. And it's all right for you to send an email back saying that the document or legal paperwork is complete for each notarial act or transaction of the signature that is electronically signed for the client. If you answer true for question 4, right answer. Question 5 of chapter 11, electronic notarizations. If a notary is asked to perform an electronic notarization, he or she must perform the electronic notarization. If you answer false, right answer. And here are the answers to electronic notarization for chapter 11 of the self-assessment. Much prop to my friend Tam. I was just on the phone with Tam, and Tam, her name is Tamara Jackson. She's the teacher for the state of Connecticut. I was explaining to Tam that I had this new notary course. Jurat notary courses for 2000 plus for the new year here in the state of Connecticut, and I would love not only to teach you the English but translate it in 60 different languages and teach my own course on Ebonics. That's right. Much props to all my friends and family. My Live Jasmine friends and family. Misha, Mako, Minister Florence, Miss Alicia over there at We Transport, the school bus company. Much props to Suzette. All my friends and family, my siblings. My nephew Tay, he became a notary on his 18th birthday. Isis, Micaiah, and Zori, my parents. And now my siblings. The state of Connecticut has it going on. We'll create and work here in the state of Connecticut, and making sure we have enough to go around. So chapter 12 is challenging notarizations, right? Chapter 12 of the self-assessment. Questions for chapter 12, challenging notarizations. Question 1. Regardless of the situations encountered by the notary, a challenging notarization will contain all of the customary elements of a more typical notarization. If you answer true, you have the right answer. Question 2. If a notary believes that, for whatever reason, the signer seems to be incapable of understanding the nature of the transaction, the notary should refuse to continue with the notary act. Alright, true or false? If you answer true, right answer. Here in the state of Connecticut, we have payees for disability, Social Security. And if a client needs an interpreter or some kind of payee or someone to monitor the transactions here for the client, it's all right for the client to have a monitor or some type of mentor to have the legal documents notarized, signed, sealed, and completed from a notary that is licensed for the state of Connecticut. So if you answer true, right answer. Chapter 12, question 3. A notary will find that only illiterate signers will sign by marking a mark as the signature. True or false? If you answered false, right answer. Alright. Usually in the state of Connecticut, education and going to school and staying in school. I have 2 high school diplomas, and I wanted to become a kid's public defender at the Juvenile Detention Center here in the state of Connecticut for 25 to 33 years. And we believe in completing high school, completing college, completing the state of Connecticut exam. My attorneys wouldn't put their signature on anything. Much props to Kyle. Much props to Sharon Jenkins. Much props to Errol Skyers. Much props to Mako, the mother of my kids. She works with Air for many years. Much props to Shamika. Much props to Shanique Ferguson, who works at the attorney for Skyers and Skyers, the Barrister Law Group. Kyle and Harold, partners, law officers of Dark Legion Publishers, My Story Entertainment. Congratulations. Keep it moving. Keep up the great work for the state of Connecticut. And continue working together. We believe in making the grade, not only with going to school and staying in school for the state of Connecticut exams, but making the grade with the Better Business Bureau, the FDA, whatever it is. You have to make the grade, get an A+, stay in business, continue working, work together, get with a partner with someone who knows how to make the grade and keep it moving to provide and nurture the needs in the state of Connecticut. Question number 4 of Chapter 12 is Challenging Notarizations. A notary can always trust the translator to accurately convey his or her words to a signer who does not speak a common language with the notary. Alright, clients. This is about the mentor and having your client speak in English. If your client doesn't speak English, we're going to translate it in 60 different languages so your client will understand how to make the grade, how to send in a $125 fee to 2 Belden Avenue, Post Office Box 326, South Norwalk, Connecticut 06852. You can send a check, money order. All donations are sent to Deshaun Dark Legion Mystery Harper for your notary acts. And you can put attention, Sir Connecticut, because in Connecticut everything is Gucci and everything is Connecticut. Alright. Chapter 12, Challenging Notarizations for question 5. Oh yeah, much props to Yolanda Gucci Gatlin. That's my sibling. Anita Denise Gatlin. and Shanika Janae got them. Question 5. A notary may proceed with the notarizations as long as he has the document signature page containing the notarial certificate's language. Yeah, much props to the ladies in my family. They need their space. Yeah. So if you answer false for question 5 of chapter 12, challenging notarial notarizations, right answer. And here are the answers for chapter 12, notarizations of the notarial acts as a notary. Again, it should do Deshaun Dark Legion Mystery Harper. And usually, these are my lowrider keys. I usually have the lowrider keys, right? The lowrider keys. And when I'm at the post office, I love Barbara over there at the post office. I usually see Barbara or Kiki or some type of mailroom courier that actually monitors the mail. You usually have tracking numbers sent to the phone to track your emails, text messages. And these right here are the keys for the notarial acts. So when you send me a check or money order and you receive your jurat notary certificate, you also could become a teacher to teach notarial acts for your country. As well as I'm teaching in the United States, you'll teach it in your language and translate it in 60 different languages. So this is how we do this. We do this 8 times, right? You turn the key to your United States Post Office, right, in your town. We do it 8 to 14 times over here, right? Because we don't want to feel like you need a counselor or something or someone to hold your hand. So we do that 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in the left. And we do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to the right. Now, you don't always need someone holding your hand, right? And you mail out the notary certificates to your clients in a priority envelope. And this right here are keys to the lowrider. You have an alarm on the lowrider, a red alarm. So you do 8 to 14 to the right. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I have my mother's keys on here. My mother, LG. Yeah, only friends and family can meet my mother, LG. Much props to my mother, Lynn. She's my parent. She's the greatest. She have about $5 in her phone right now, and not in those words. Yeah. So that's about 4 right there. Right? And we're gonna do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? Of the lowrider. Right? And there you have it. All 12 pages. Of the notarial act signed. Much props to Stephanie and all friends and family that's receiving their jurat notary certificates to become a teacher. And again, the fee is $125 here in the state of Connecticut. I will send you the notary seal, the browser, and the stamp, and your legal documents. All right. For friends and family, I love you. Happy New Year. Talk to you soon.